Hello, I'm Kerry Hope, Managing Director at Castle Employment Group. I've been asked to talk a little bit today about what were my biggest challenges in 2020 for me personally and for the business during 2020. So personally, running a business, operating it whilst the staff were furloughed, whilst running a home and a family with homeschooling was by far my biggest challenge. Kids aged 9 and 14 needing homeschooling, whilst I spent anywhere from 2 to 8 hours on Zoom or the phone, and still continue to do so really. Finding the balance of mum and MD, I don't think I've ever will find that balance for as long as I'm working from home full time. I usually leave the house, I then become MD, I then leave work and I become mum. I've never in my 14 years of being a mum had to bring the two together. So this is continuing to be, and was by far my biggest challenge, allowing the two to run side by side. I'm still desperately struggling with this now. Keeping a balanced mindset, I always work really hard on this all of the time and really work on things that I can control and let go of what I can't. And in 2020, I found it hard to escape what you couldn't control. I certainly found the news utterly depressing, and now I don't choose to watch it. I look at the headlines via an app that sends me notifications, and when I feel it's of interest, I then read and watch it at that point. Another challenge, which I had never struggled with historically, was the impact of allowing others' moods, behaviours and actions impact my day, and sometimes then the week. I didn't seem to have the resilience in this area that I would usually. Everything just seemed hypersensitive. So many times I wondered if my resilience would have held up. I am naturally a really resilient person, but this year it was really put to the test. Others' strong opinions and reactions and beliefs and behaviour around COVID really impacted me too, far more than historically I would have ever allowed it to. I guess it was at this point that I realised how burnt out I was, and I took a week off and out of the business to regroup. I really recognised how important it was for me to do that. And on return, I felt so much better. Just reminded me the importance of relaxing and spending time with the family without the pressure is far more better in the long run. I also learned that under immense pressure and stress, I really don't look after myself. So eating, exercise and sleep really suffered. But I've started 2021 with a much more controlled and balanced approach to my self-care, and to continue to be my best self, and to accept that is enough. Because I guess without me being healthy, none of the rest really matters. So my family and the business need me at my best self and being healthy. Business-wise, well, what a year. I mean, it was a roller coaster year. One of many challenges was having to make decisions very, very quickly around staff and furlough when everything just seemed so uncertain. We just felt like we needed a crystal ball. Whilst 15% of the employees remained busy in their specialist areas, 85% of our business rapidly lost forecasted business and sales, and it just came to a complete standstill. Not knowing for how long it would stand still and trying to manage expectations around uncertainty, around restructure and redundancy, when I didn't have the answers initially. 6 weeks in, and tough decisions had to be made. We were very fortunate we had flexible leases, so we downsized all our offices, we moved an office, we had to restructure the business, and we lost 30% of our sales staff. But even after those hard and fast moves, we just still didn't even know if that was going to be enough. Another area that I felt very difficult to manage and was another challenge for me business-wise really was the emotions that were attached to furlough. Some of those staff that were furloughed resented those that were working, and some that were working resented those that were furloughed. The furlough scheme has really saved our business in 2020, and without it, we wouldn't be in a position to start this year as we are. But the emotional impact it had on many of my team, I just couldn't have forecasted it. Not one person had the same reaction or the same challenge to it. And I always knew management is like playing a game of golf. So depending on what what you need to do next, what shot you need to take, you decide what golf club you're going to use. But managing such varying reactions and responses and emotions, and also being unexpecting of it, really was a hard thing to balance. And also for me, not taking their emotions or responses too personally and just trying to manage the business through it. And finally, really trying to achieve everything. I set off a million miles an hour last March, April, thinking that everything had to be done in this 2 to 3 month gap that was going to be slowed down. So rewriting the website, training all our staff, rewriting all the training material, rewriting all our marketing material, cleansing the database. I honestly thought that we had 2 to 3 months. We needed to use that time as best as we possibly could while we were quiet. And in addition to running the business with a few of the other guys, I attempted to do it all. I mean, never at that point would I have imagined a year later, we've still got staff on furlough and we're still working from home. I mean, I did realise quite quickly after about 2 months that, and certainly burning out, that I couldn't keep the pace, and that trying to achieve my strategic objectives for the whole of the year in 8 weeks was soon going to take its toll, and it definitely did. So finally, I was just asked to cover what I think will be key to supporting my people and our teams as we enter 2021. For us, supporting them through unprecedented times and ensuring that they know they have support from the business for their wellness and mental health is our absolute #1 priority. We've had a speaker in recently, a guy called Kerry Hope, who we've worked with for several years, who is all about mindfulness and mental health well-being, and has provided the whole team with some tips and tricks to balance these really crazy times. You know, internally, we're doing lots on promoting daily exercise. We're holding competitions. We're doing our standard normal meetings that are usually through Zoom. We're doing them whilst walking. We're allowing people time off for their children that have been homeschooled with flexed hours around personal circumstances. And we've created a buddy system where people now check in with each other that wouldn't usually. And in addition to that, we're just desperately trying to have lots of fun. So we have 2 to 3 things a week that really promotes fun in the workplace, even if that workplace at the moment is home. You know, I just desperately want to ensure they're feeling supported. It's so high on our priorities, and it's absolutely imperative. It's a balance, as we still need to deliver the sales and the forecast, but also allowing people the time and flex they need to balance. It's just balancing the impossible. So I'm thankful for my team, because genuinely, without them this year, without their resilience and their support, the outlook has certainly made a bad year considerably brighter. I really hope sharing my challenges, both personally and business-wise, has helped, and that you find this vlog helpful and certainly inspiring for this year's conference.